Well, we had a very successful season where we went to the Belgium Cup final and then won the league. I think we can do a little bit better, though. Let's get into a transfer special and end the season review, my dudes. Before we get into today's episode, why don't you go ahead and leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. It is time for the season review, transfer special, one of my favorite times. Should be a good one. I'm hoping we can bring in some talent that propels us forward into actually doing a little bit better in the international success, a little bit better in the Belgium Cup, maybe winning it and competing again, once again, in the league. We've had two very successful seasons, and we're going to hopefully build on that. As you can see right there, though, there's the cup, the Belgium League trophy. It was fun. If you missed it, we won it in the last episode. Go back and check it out. Let's take a look at the new arrivals. I'm actually interested in the new arrivals because we did not spend a ton of money on people. And the people we brought in really helped out the squad. I'm expecting some of the players like Lescoy, Jotty, and Morazzo probably to not have a great board recommendation or board judgment. But some of these other guys I'm really excited about. Mr. Anderson, apparently he was our best signing. We purchased him for a whopping $5.5 thousand. Played a lot of matches for us, put out an average rating of 7.33. Really excited to see what his future can hold. He's only 18. Only 18. Up next, Banu. Got an A for this one. We, once again, spent a lot of money on him. 3.2. Averaged out 7.10. He had 26 goals. Being a 16 and 17-year-old through the season, I think this one right here is going to come back as our best signing of this save, honestly. I think he can propel the club forward while he's here and after we sell him potentially. Lescoy, B- on this one. I'm actually surprised by this. I guess it was just because we didn't spend a lot of money on him. He put out 6.9. Jotty, an A- on him. We picked him up for a free 6.97 on him. He was I think he was a really good squad player for us and borderline starter. Put out 14 goals. Knock. I was excited about this kid. I still like him. 59,000 for him. We did spend a little bit more than what we wanted to on him, but he was really good. He banged in 8 goals, 6.97 on him. He was injured a lot, but what we did see of him, I was really impressed. A B- for him, as I said. Marzo up next, 41,000. Yeah, I didn't expect this one to be a great one. 6.94 C overall for him. Rob Hart, this is another one of the guys that I think is on the line of Banu. 16.75 for him. B+. He came on later in the season, put out a 6.97 at 16 years old. Essa Hall, spent 41 for him. 6.87 on him. A-. Was a solid player for us. Very solid player. Gassan, we did spend a little bit more money on him, and he wasn't bad, but he certainly could have been better. He put out a 6.82. Junior, B-, signed him. 6.81, 625. He came in the middle of the season and didn't play for us, came on at the end of the season, and I thought he looked fairly well. I'm excited about his future. Another player that we brought in later, Issa, 43.5 for him, 6.8 average rating. He played in the last 2 matches. We'll go over those in a little bit as well. And then I signed this guy for free. Maybe he can be a backup for us next year. Oscar Fraulo. I don't think he's actually at the club, is he? Okay, he is at I did not know he was at the club. I remember signing him. He's a left wing option that we never used this season. Hopefully we can bring him up next season, get him some game time. He probably won't be a normal starter for us this year, but somebody that we can train for the future. And yeah, we've got a lot of stuff here to go over. The board was delighted with how he was in the league. I'm going to guess the Champions League, they was a bit disappointed to see on that one. Europa League, A-. They was happy with us on that. I thought we'd done really well in the Europa League. Obviously, we had a tough draw against Tottenham, and we wasn't able to get past them. The Belgium Cup, we made it to the final, B- on that. So a lot better than last year. And then the Pro League Super Cup, B- on that. Don't remember it, to be honest with you. Probably the first match. Probably like a community shield type of thing. Moments to remember. Hope you remembered them because we ain't looking at them. Sponsorship stayed the same, 7.01 on that. Broadcast revenue did go up a little bit. Corporate and hospitality competition prize money went up a lot because, well, we didn't win any competition prize money last year. And match day went up as well. Banu, Jotty, Heremans, Van Leberg, and Togu being your top selling kits this year. How we lined up. Look at, there we go. I mean, I can't really argue with that. Can you guys? I mean, I think that's, you can make an argument for Togu up top, but I think Banu was the more successful striker. Togu was a real good backup, and I think he could be a starter in this league for most teams. We just had a really great youngster that really helped us out. Fans Player of the Season, Max Norman Williamson. Young Player of the Season, Mr. Anderson, and signing of the season was Mr. Anderson. And that really, that's so awesome to actually have two center backs that you signed that came in and just done great for us. I was excited about them. Goal of the season was Gassan. Top goal scorer was Banu with 26 goals at 17 years old. That's nice. Shufs, 20 assists. Had an excellent season for us. I think he's very underrated. Togu had the most man of the matches. Max Norman Williamson had the highest overall rating of 7.2. And a guy that's leaving the club, Koshi. Most passes completed per 90 minutes. Record breakers. We had some records get broken this year. Rob Shufs with assist. Most shutouts, Cook. Man of the matches was Togu. And worst discipline, Max Norman Williamson. He's being a little bit of a naughty boy out there. Yeah, I was excited about that. That was great stuff. We do have our best overall 11. And this one's a bit odd to me, really. It's I mean, obviously it's 2 seasons, but I think that you could swap out some of these guys already. The back 4, I'm honestly surprised with Mr. Anderson making it. Obviously, Van Leeuwenberg, they've got him in the central mid, but I think the back 4 should be Dacey, Norman Williamson, Van Leeuwenberg, and Walsh. Cook, obviously. The center mid, you can see where we gotta do some stuff here. Shufs, I think, should be in this. Shufs and probably somebody. I mean, it makes sense for Van Leeuwenberg, but it's tough having him there since we kind of like him as a center back option. Right wing, the attack though. This is the shocker to me. The attack was absolutely crazy. I kind of get Chaved because we've never really had a dominant right wing, but the number 10 role, Hermans, I think he should be moved up there. And as I said, I think Shufs should be there. Jotty on the left. We haven't really had anybody dominate that position, so that's okay. And then up top, Ferdy. The Dirty Ferdy, still in the Dream 11. Wow, that's a bit crazy. I thought that Banu or Togu might have made that spot, but they didn't. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So here we go. This is the stuff right here we got to take a look at. What do they want us to do? What is it? A lot of stuff. They want us to play entertaining football, develop players using the youth system, play possession football, make the most set pieces, play high-tempo pressing football, work within the payroll, sign players to sell for a profit, 2-year contracts for first players, and then next season they want us to repair the financial damage, top half finishes, and third qualifying round of the Champions League. So I think we can do all of that, but as you guys know, I really like to get rid of some of this stuff just to try helping out. So we got rid of one of them, didn't we? We got rid of the youth system, and that's a bit crazy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and accept it because I did get screwed a couple, I think, in Daegu by trying to get it. So that's what we got for us going forward. Squad dynamics, team leaders are still Harriman, Shufs, and Walsh. I agree with that. They should be up there. They've been here the longest. End of season meeting, I'll do that off screen as usual. Anything else in the emails? We still haven't got our money yet. That's hey. Got to get that money. Got to get it. We are going to take a look though. It's something we always do. We look at the squad and we see the players that we want to sell, who we can potentially sell. I do have to go through here and kind of drop some people back down to the under 21s because I did play some players in the last couple matches, and we'll go over that off screen, or we'll go over that in a bit. Use another one that I called up. Okay, get you off that screen for me. Who else? Who else am I missing? Who looks to stand out that I didn't really use? I think that's about everybody that we used. We do need to look at the last 2 matches though. I was pleasantly surprised with these 2 matches. We played a very rotated side. We brought up players from the under 21s to get a look at some of those guys, and some of them looked good. 4-0 victory over Antwerp. They did have to get a man sent off pretty soon, but it's still nice to get that 4-0 victory over them. Rob Hart gets a goal, Daly gets a goal, Boziers gets a goal, and Van Leeuwenberg gets a goal. You can kind of see the lineup. We did play a rotated side, and it was a good win for us. Gink 1-1. Essa Hall gets a goal. They equalized very late, and once again, you can just see I played a rotated side. It was a nice win. Or a nice draw. I was happy with the last 2 results, but that's how the season ended. I thought it was very nice. We won the league, finished in the final of the Belgium Cup. So good stuff. I don't think we have many contracts expiring this season though. I think we got a couple. The backup goalkeepers. I think that was really the only two that we have that's expiring. Yeah, Yannick Tolan and Winnisons. I don't plan on re-signing these guys. I'll try to sell them, but I don't expect we'll get anything. Tholen, he's been injured since we've got here. He's out for 3 more months. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't retired yet. He's on $306,000, so a big chunk of our wage budget goes to him. Winnisons, he's not making a lot. He's got $76,000. But players I am really interested in selling, and probably be just easier to sort it like this so I can kind of find them a little bit. I'm okay with these guys. Morazzo, I'm okay with him. He's just an option at this point. He's got a couple more years left on his contract, probably. I'm not sure how long of a deal it was. It is a big contract, though. It does expire next year. So Morazzo, I'm not actively going to try selling him, but we may offer him. I mean, I'm not going to just like push it. We may transfer list him and see what happens. If anybody comes in, we might try to sell him. But that just depends on if we bring anybody in, because I do like his versatility. He is a very versatile backup for us and adds a little bit of depth to a couple positions. So I'm probably keeping, but I will try to get rid of him. I don't know. It just depends on the offer, really, just to get that wage budget down a little bit lower, because he is on a lot of money. Player that I do want to sell is Wernersson, meaning we'll have to bring in a left back as well. But yeah, he's really fell off for us. He's a Swedish-born player, which we're not looking to use on $306,000 per year. His contract expires on not next year, but the year after that. So would like to get rid of him. I really would. I think it's just best for us to move on from him. He's just got a lot of money that we don't need in the payroll budget. Yeah, it's just a bit much. You know, it's a bit much. He's a good player. He's a really good player. Maybe we can get a little bit of money for him. I mean, he's valued at 4.8. That would be very, very nice to get rid of a player on that kind of money. Who else do we want to see? I want to try Daly again. He's got, I think, another year left on his contract. He hasn't developed much. He kind of reverted to being a third choice striker. He didn't really play till the end of the season. And yeah, that's just kind of where we stand with him. It's one of those situations of like Togu and Banu was having such good seasons that he didn't really get an option out there. It was a bit tough on him. But speaking of Togu, my man, 1.2. I don't want to sell him. But if an offer comes in that's good, we may take a look at it. We may just take a little glance at it. But if we do that, we'll replace him with another veteran striker. So it's like, okay, well, the money's got to be right, because I don't see selling him for less than, I don't know, $3 million, just off the top of my head. I don't see selling him for that when we're not going to be able to bring anybody else in that can replace him for that kind of price. It's kind of stupid. He is on not a huge contract, but $214,000. So probably try keeping him. Probably try to keep him. Pear, I'd love to sell him. Do we? I don't think so. I mean, it'll probably be one of those things of just getting him off the wage budget if we do sell him on $245,000. So another player that's on too much money for what he does for the club. Karam, I would really like to sell him. He's on a big salary. Would love to sell him. Get him off the roster. Get him off that payroll budget. But that's the players that we're actively looking to sell. So yeah, we got some work to do this offseason. Definitely got some work to do. Team report, we want to take a look at the depth chart, see what we got. Yeah, I mean, obviously we know some of the holes that this squad has. Left back, if we sell, what's his face? Wernersson, we need to sign a backup left back. We do have Leskoy, but I would like to bring in a youngster as well. I know Dacey is young, but I would like to have another option as well that's young. Center back, we got 3 studs. And then after that, it's a huge drop-off. So maybe bringing in another player at center back. Morazzo can play there, but he's not great, is he? He's not really great. Right back, we do have a couple options. I mean, I feel really good with right back. We got Sandy Walsh. We got Issa, and we got Junior. I think we got 3 solid options there. Goalkeep, probably just bring up somebody from the under-21s. See if we got anybody that we can use there. Not sure which one. Maybe that guy we signed on a free. That would be nice. I think he has a little bit of potential. I think he's a 4 or 5 star potential player. Center mid, I'm not touching center mid. I'm not. Shufs, we got Gassan. We got Rob Hart. I don't think is his name Rob Hart? We got Rob Hart. And there's actually a couple more guys on the under-21s that I'm interested in bringing up alongside bosses there. So, yeah, I'm good with center mid. Center mid's fine. Right wing, I mean, we could use some help at right wing. We've got Kawhi. We've got, trying to think of the players that have played over there. Is Knock one of the guys? I can never remember if I played Knock on the left or right because he stayed injured so much. I do play him on the right. So we have Knock as well. And then Hosier's. So we do have some options there, but I would really like a really good player. Like a really, like bringing in a Banu. You know what I'm saying? Like do we? I doubt it. But it would be nice. Attacking mid, I mean, we got Essahal and Harriman's. We do have some other options that can play there as well. We may try to bring in another youngster at that point. I'm not 100% sure at center or attacking mid. I just really don't know. Left wing, we got Jotty. And then that other youngster, the one that I can never remember, Alexander. We got Alexander, who had a really good season. So left wing is another option we need to mess with. I feel like it's a tight squeeze there that we need to address it. And up top, we got Banu, we got Togu, we got Daly. There's another youngster on the team that I would kind of like to use maybe next year. I'm not 100% sure. Striker's a weird one because I would like to sell Togu because he doesn't match any of the transfer policies that we've set in place. But the value he brings to the team is more than I think that we'll get for him. So that's where we're sitting at. We've got a good side though. We've still got a good side. It's just we got some work to do. And I figure I'll be back pretty soon with the money that we bring in that we need to actually do it. We've been promised that there's 301K, which honestly, with the money we spent last year, I think that's doable. Like it's not much. Don't get me wrong. Like we're going to be bargain hunting for a couple of seasons here at KV Mechelen until we sell some of these big name players that we got, the youngsters that we won't want to sell. I know that we will not want to sell any of them. We will not want to sell Max Norman Williamson. We won't want to sell Bondi. We won't want to have to sell Mr. Anderson. It's going to be tough there, but maybe we can bring in some big money when that stuff comes up. I just don't think it's going to be this year. Well, literally one click later and the money finally rolls in. It took them long enough to decide what they wanted to do. And yeah, we do have some room to work. We have 11 million for payroll, which I think right now we're sitting like eight something. And then the transfer budget is more than enough for us with 1.5. Facilities have been downgraded though. That is a bit of a worrisome thing because we don't have the money to upgrade them. I would really like to get them upgraded, but we just don't have the money to do it, unfortunately. But yeah, we was sitting a little bit above the payroll last time, so it must have been like 8.9. It had to be like I don't remember us. Was it around 9 then? Because I don't remember us being like that much over the payroll budget. I remember us being over it a little bit, but not near that much. So we do have a little bit of room to work. Not a ton in terms of payroll, but maybe we can mess with the transfer payroll. You know, do a little slide here and there to see if we can get some money in. It is going to be a tough one though. We've got to do the bargain hunting. The bargain hunting is a must this off season. Well, a bit of good news that I don't know where it came from. So I've got a question for you guys. I know you could find this pretty easy in Football Manager, and I haven't really looked for it in a long time. We've got a lot of money in the bank, and I've looked for it like in the income. I would like to see where it came from though, because it's kind of weird. I looked at our loans, and the board has not took out another loan anytime soon. So where did it come from? The only reason I knew about it was we got this email here, and then this, saying, hey, you've checked off one of the long-term goals of the club. How do you feel about it? I'm fine about it. Where did it come from? We got our scouting budget, commercial success. I don't know where it came from, because a while back ago we got the what is it called? The prize money for the being in the Europa League. But yeah, I'm a bit lost. But I reinvested it into the club. We've improved the youth recruitment and improving the training facilities. If you remember correctly, the training facilities got downgraded at the end of the season, so that is good news. Looking at the club info now, not affiliates, facilities. Good youth recruitment. Very, very nice. We haven't done anything. Transfer window hadn't opened up. I've just been looking through, seeing if I see any players that I like. I've made offers for 2. One of them has signed. The other one I don't know if we'll get him. Well, it is a new day for me, and that means we've got some stuff to go over. I've done this transfer special a little bit different in the terms of I've brought in a lot of players without coming back. I want to come back a little bit less often, try to knock down on some of the cuts. The transfer specials are choppy as it is already, so I think this is going to be a good thing going forward. Before we get into the players that we brought in, I want to go over contracts that are expiring. So up until, that ain't right, up until Mr. Anderson, I know he's the last one, up until Mr. Anderson, these are the contracts that are expiring this season. So there is some names that we want to re-sign, some names that we don't want to re-sign, some names that we want to try to sell. I'm not 100% sure at all these things that we want to do. We've got Gassan. I want to re-sign him. He's a good player for us. He's going to be a really good, solid depth piece. I know he started a lot this season, but I think he's going to be more of a depth piece this year. Essa Hall, want to re-sign him. He's already got up to a 3.5-star player. Harriman's, kind of would like to sell him, to be honest. His contract's up. Don't know if we'll renew it or not. Kawhi, same situation. I don't know if we'll renew his contract. Jotty, same situation. Don't know if we'll renew his contract. Leskoy, he's probably going to be leaving the club pretty soon, so we don't have to worry about that. Cook, I have offered him a new contract, and it's a big one. It's a big one. $663,000, and it's locking him up. I don't like the foreign release clause, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get him in here for a little bit longer. This is a backup goalkeeper, so I'm not 100% sure who I want to be a backup goalkeeper, if I want to use him or this guy. It just depends, really. Alexander, I would like to lock him down. I think he is a player that is trained at Nation, or not trained at Nation. I think he's trained in club, isn't he? Yeah, he's trained in club, so I'd like to re-sign Alexander. Dylan Dacey, I'd like to re-sign. I'd like to re-sign Boss because I assume he's trained in club too. Is he? He is. So I would like to retrain him, but as you can see, there's some bids on him. I'm probably going to send him out on loan this year. I don't really need him this year. So, but yeah, I would think I would like to re-sign him. I'm just not 100% sure. This is a guy we haven't discussed, so we'll go over him in a little bit. Bozier's, honestly, I could take him or leave him. He's a decent depth piece, but I don't see him getting to be much better than 3 stars. Knock, I would like to re-sign him. He really looked good last year. He just stayed injured. And once again, he's ripped his cock off, I think. I think it was a growing issue. Mr. Anderson, I'd like to re-sign him. It's just going to be a deal of, can we afford to keep him another couple of years? I don't know if we'll be able to lock him down to a long-term deal. But one name on there is missing that was up for expiration. That's Banu. It's because Banu signed a new deal with us. And it was a tough one. Like, I did not want to pay him this much money. But I think if we can lock him down, let him develop a little bit more here at the club, start gaining a little bit of interest in him, we can eventually sell him for the big, big, big money. Take a look at him. Take a look. Let's take a look. $559,000. Oh Lord, this kid is making the money. I'm happy to get him locked down though. It's nice to get him locked down. I don't remember exactly how long it is. It's a couple of years, so he doesn't have a release clause, which is good. I was able to get that knocked off. Obviously, I had to pay him a little bit more for that, but yeah, I'm excited about that. Financially, we do have some money to work with. We still have some money to work with. I think most of this will be for re-signing contracts because we got to get some of these guys locked down. And it now has showed up the money that popped up. I still don't know how to look at it. I mean, it was right here, wasn't it? Can you? I wish I could sort this by days. And just tell me where the money came from. That's all I want to know. I just want to know where that money came from. It's a bit. I don't remember getting anything for it or nothing. Is it that? I bet it's the sponsorship, isn't it? That's what it is. The sponsorship came in. Okay, I figured it out. Hey, look at me go. Look at me go. I didn't realize it was that big of a sponsorship. That's nice. I'm thrilled about that, bringing in that big moolah, baby. But yeah, I'm happy with where we're at right now. I would like to add 1 or 2 more players. Probably a left back. I think that would be the most notable thing I would like to add. I haven't found one. I've been digging. We have done some digging in Eastern Europe this time though. Last time we kind of bounced around from the nations that we've been scouting in, which is, in case you don't know, I scout North Africa, West Africa, South Africa, Scandinavia, and Eastern Europe. I've got a couple scouts going in those areas as well. So we're trying to find bargains. And we have found some over the past 2 years here at the club. Look at this, though. The money that we've brought in is 1.8. That's not much. We only spent 215,000. I like it. I like this right here compared to this one right here. Very, very, very nice. So Karam has left the club. He's gone to France for 1.3. Pair, really big sell here for 375,000. Didn't think we'd be able to get that out of him. Marzo left for 86,000. And you're probably like, well, you actually played Marzo a little bit. Yeah, I did, but we doubled the money at least, didn't we? Come on. Get him out of here. He was on a pretty decent deal as well, so I'm glad to get him out. A player that I totally forgot about, Sim Ardor from Club Bruges. Brought him in on a free. He's probably going to be our fourth choice center back, and he'll play more than our previous fourth choice center backs. I'm excited about him. I think he's going to be a good player for us. He's a really good defensively minded player, and he's pretty good in the air as well. So see how he develops. Brought him in from free. That's good news. Martin Samrick, 2.5-star player, 5-star potential, can play as an attacking mid, and he looks pretty good as well. Determination's really high, got really good work rate, technique, kind of the players that I like to bring in with that high work rate, good vision. I think he's going to develop into a really good player. He's going to sit on our under-18s, though, this year. Let him develop, and then we'll bring him up for sure next season. And it may be one of those situations of like Junior and Issa, where they get playing time at the end of the season. I'm just not 100% sure where we're going to go with that. Speaking of sitting on the reserves, Raleigh Cashienda, a free player that we brought in, a 1.5-star, 4.5-star potential player. Aggression, bravery. I mean, he looks pretty good. At 16 years old for free, I'll take a chance on you. You look okay. So he's here. We're not going to go over this guy yet. Let's go over Zachary Balakai. We mentioned him earlier. He's on a one-year deal for us. He's a left wing option, 3-star player, 3.5-star potential ability. He's just well-rounded. I mean, good solid depth piece that we brought in, kind of like Kawhi, kind of like Jotty, that can play anywhere across the front three. I'm happy about that. I think it's going to be a good signing. Skipping over these next two guys because they're good. Ludic Valenti, another player that we brought in that's going to probably sit on the reserve team. I think I do have him as a breakthrough prospect, so I'm actually going to go ahead and move him to the. He is on that team. Why are you here? Okay, never mind. I just seen it. He's on the under-21s. 2.5-star player, 5-star potential. And I think he's going to be a good player for us on the left-hand side. I would really like to train him on the right wing, though. He's a mercenary. I don't like that. Let's actually go ahead and start training him to play on the right-hand side. That way, maybe when he comes in next year, we can actually use him on that side. I would be happy about that. Okay, we got two big guys coming in now. And I'm not sure where I want to start off with because they're both really good players that I think they're going to be starters this year at 16 and 17 or 18. They're below 18 years old, obviously, because they're foreign players. We want to get them trained in the nation. I think we're going to start with Martin Richter. He's a attacking mid player that we have. I'm actually going to play him on the left-hand side, though. Probably as honestly as an inside forward. I mean, his flair at 19, technique of 17, dribbling 16, natural fitness. I mean, honestly, this guy, he could be a decent striker for us. I mean, if we didn't have Banu, this kid may still get a lot of opportunities as a striker if we're struggling on substitutions. I'm excited about Martin Richter, and I know you're thinking that guy was really good. That other guy must be pretty good. I'm going to say it, Miskovic. I'm excited about him as well. He's coming in. He's locking down the center mid. It's him and Schufts now. Gasson, he is sitting on the bench. I don't think I mentioned that. Yeah, he's more of a depth piece now. Not you. That was a misclick. Yeah. I mean, this is my kind of midfield player. The work rate of 18, teamwork 19, technique 16. He's very well-rounded. I'd like his dribbling and his finishing to get bumped up a little bit. But box-to-box midfield player, 16 years old. I mean, dude is just – his media description is perfect. Hard-working. I am ecstatic about this kid. I think he's going to come in and just absolutely help the club out tremendously. It's going to secure up the center mid. And that's why we're loaning out Boss. That's why the only reason I'm considering even re-signing Boss is because he's trained in nation. Or trained at club. That's it. Other than that, I have no point in him. It's nice. We're sitting in a very good spot with this club right now for the future. I mean, obviously, with the transfer restrictions we've imposed, our big players are going to be cheap young players that's going to have to develop and hopefully develop at the club for a little bit before we have to get rid of them because we're never going to be able to afford this good of players that we're finding. And yeah, it's going to be fun. But looking at the team, we haven't looked at it yet. I haven't actually even looked at it myself because I've got a lot of players on the senior squad that some of them I want to drop down, some of them I don't want to use right now. Bono's up top. That's a given. Togu, we got a couple other guys. I'm not sure. Daly's probably still floating around here somewhere. Yeah, he's Daly's dropping though. I mean, Daly, bud, I mean, you better start picking it up. Richter is right on your tail, and he's not even supposed to be starting there. Then we got a couple of other guys that I played in the last 2 matches. Left wing is a bit of a doozy. It's a bunch of 3-star guys. We got Jody, Balaka, and Richter. I'm honestly, as I said before, I'm leaning toward Richter starting left wing, Jody and Balaka being squad level players for us. But yeah, the left wing looks pretty good now. Attacking mid, Harriman's is going to get the start to the season, but Essahal is catching him. Essahal is at 3.5-star, 5-star potential already, whereas Harriman's just a 3-star player now. He's reached his max. He's not getting any better than this, and it's one of those times. Like, I think we'll probably keep him through the second transfer window in the middle of the season. Maybe try to look to sell him then. Then it'll be Essahal. It'll be Samrick. It'll be the guy that I really like, Richter. Yeah, so his time is coming to an end at KV Mechelen. Right hand side. Yeah, it's still Jody, or not Jody. It's still Kawhi, Bozier's, and Knock. I would really like Knock to. I would really like it if Knock took over that role some point this season. Does he do it? I don't know. I really don't. It's going to be a tough job for him. He's got to improve. I think he would have done it last year if he would have stayed healthy, because he had the best season out of anybody on that right wing. Central mid, I mean, guys, we're set at central. Central mid is perfect. I mean, we got Shufs, we got Miskovic, we got Essahal can play there, Gassan can play there, Rob Hart can play there, Boss can play there. So it's loaded. But I think the main 2 guys will be Shufs and Miskovic. Will be changing to a box-to-box. I know we're going to go really, really crazy and use a deep line playmaker and a box-to-box in our midfield like everybody else does. But it just works out for us. I mean, that's the grand scheme of things. I know I've seen people comment, or not on my videos, but I've seen people, on Reddit and stuff like that saying, oh, just using a 4-2-3-1 with a deep line playmaker and a box-to-box. Well, there's a reason why people do it, and it's because it works. And we got the players for it. Right back options, we got Sandy Walsh, we got Junior, and we got Issa. So I'm good with that. I know it doesn't look as nice on this side, but we know those are 3 pretty good players. Center back, we got Van Leberg, Mr. Norman Williamson. I don't know why. Apparently, I've gotten the mood of wanting to call him that, and Mr. Anderson and Ardor. I think we're good there as well. Left back still got some questions. We got Wernerson and we got Dacey and Leskoy, who's going to be leaving the club. I would really like to sign a Belgian player at left back, kind of like we did with Junior, around that same potential, around that same current ability. Kind of be a backup that hopefully can take over Wernerson. We wasn't able to sell Wernerson. Nobody's been interested in him, really. It's been a bit of a disappointment, really. He's wanted by Nacional as a transfer. The rest are just loan offers, and nobody's came in. Cook, he's a good goalkeeper. It says he's a 3-star player, but he's better than a 3-star player. And yeah, I'm excited about what we got coming in. I need to actually go through this and see whose opinion we're looking at, because I haven't done it in a while. See if we can find somebody that's a little bit better at judging the opinion of, or the ability of these players. But as I said, we want to find another left back. We want to re-sign some contracts. So my idea for what the future comes in the bits that we're off is these are the guys that are probably leaving the club. I've offered this guy a free transfer, not a free transfer, a trial offer. I doubt I'll sign him. He just popped up, and I was like, well, you know what? We'll let it see how it goes. But Boss will be leaving the club hopefully, and Leskoy will be leaving the club. And after Leskoy leaves the club, we'll see what we have in payroll, start offering out some contract renewals, and then hopefully try to bring in a left back if we can. Before we end this episode, we got a little bit more stuff to cover. Not much, no transfers, nothing like that. We've re-signed some of the players. Unfortunately, the one player we wasn't able to sign right now is Gassan. He wants to be an important player, and I understand that it's because of last year he was an important player. I think this year he's going to realize, oh, okay, I'm more of a squad player, and hopefully we can re-sign him at that point. But I believe Essahal, I think we have re-signed him through 2026. Pretty cheap deal as well on that end. Dacey, we have re-signed as well, which is good news. 2027 for him. Like I said, Gassan, we haven't re-signed him. I'm trying to think if there was anybody else. We re-signed Cook. Mr. Anderson is the lockdown He's not locked down. He's another player that's wanting to be pretty important. And it's tough with him because, like, he deserves it. Like, I don't think Gasson deserves to be an important player. Mr. Anderson does. It's just we've got two really good center backs in front of him. And I mean, like, if we could chip him down to being a regular starter, I think that would be fine. Honestly, let's see if we can actually talk to him. I don't think he'll want to talk. He's probably upset. I mean, okay. Can we do this? Okay, we got him as a regular starter. I thought it was an important player. I just must have seen the important player and backed off. I don't want that. Every one of my players are getting release clauses around 40 million. And it's not what I want. I really don't. This is going to go up big time. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I'm not really that worried about this right now. And we'll go over that in a second. I mean, I think that's okay, bud. I mean, thought it wasn't that big of a okay. He's wanting some big money, and like he deserves it. He really does. But we'll try to get him locked down when he's a little bit more happier with us. That was a big ask. I mean, and it may be one of those situations if we try selling him this year. It's not what I want, but we may have to do it. He's a really good player, but the reason why I wasn't that worried about it, we are losing a big time contract hopefully pretty soon in Victor Wernerson, going out to Brescia for $8 million. And as I said, he's got a big contract. He's on $306,000. If we get rid of that, I have no problem giving Mr. Anderson what he wanted with that one. I don't want you guys to look at that guy. Don't look right there. We're not looking at him. Hopefully he'll come into tomorrow's episode. But we're at the start of the league, so there's nothing else really to do. I'm gonna literally hit stop record and start it back up against these two matchups. It should be fun. Oh, almost forgot. We won the Pro League Super Cup that I never play on screen. Beat Antwerp 2-1. Miskovic gets a goal in 38 minutes. Gasson comes in there and gets one in the 93rd. We didn't really look that well, but we did play a little bit of a rotated side, so hopefully in the next episode or next match we'll be going on a little bit more. Well, another transfer window down in the books, and I think we've done pretty well. Not as good as our first one. Still pretty dang good. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below, and as always, my dudes, thank you for watching.